Imagine a dusty, imagination-captivating scene. In the middle of a deserted area, archaeologists stand by a vast excavation site, beneath which lies an entire city. This city, hidden beneath centuries of earth, seems to come alive, telling a story that is more than 800 years old. The first thing that caught the scientists' attention were the massive stone walls rising above the ground, like the remnants of a majestic structure. But this was only the beginning of an adventure filled with mysteries and discoveries. As the ruins were cleared of the layers of time, archaeologists managed to uncover fragments of buildings constructed with incredible precision and craftsmanship. Unusual masonry, unknown construction techniques, all of this only added to the mystery. One of the structures seemed especially remarkable, a sort of temple with high arches and patterns that seemed to whisper ancient stories. The site was so impressive that it was hard to believe such a human creation could vanish overnight. Venturing deeper into the city, the explorers came across the remains of unusual structures, the purpose of which remained a mystery. Narrow streets curved gently, creating a labyrinth of long-forgotten paths. But what forced the inhabitants to abandon these streets and buildings? What secrets do their walls conceal? Inside one of the buildings, they found unusual household items, dishes made from a strange material, ancient tools, and remnants of furniture that, despite the centuries that had passed, had been preserved well enough to tell stories about their owners. Each of these treasures carried fragments of the life of a once thriving society. But who were these people? What kind of civilization created such a unique city, and how could it have disappeared so suddenly and without a trace? The questions multiply, as do the discoveries, each one promising to bring them closer to the answer. And as the archaeologists continue their excavations, they delve ever deeper into a mystery that still awaits its revelation. As they moved further along the winding streets, the archaeologists began to find the first clues about the people who inhabited this mysterious city. Their attention was drawn to numerous skeletal remains carefully buried in stone sarcophagi, each one adorned with intricately carved symbols. These symbols, unlike anything else, were exquisitely carved, indicating a highly developed society. However, none of the known languages matched these mysterious inscriptions. This only added to the intrigue. A special group of complex drawings included images that, according to the researchers, might tell the story of the lives and activities of these ancient people. On one of the frescoes, carefully restored by scientists, a hunting scene is depicted, showing people in unusual garments driving prey into intricately constructed traps. Such images made it clear that this civilization possessed deep knowledge of the animal world and possibly the art of creating complex mechanisms. As they continued their exploration, the researchers discovered even more evidence of the material culture of this people. Among the debris, they found jewelry made of strange metals and gemstones, as well as unique ceramics with intricate decorations. These discoveries pointed to an advanced culture in which art and aesthetics were highly valued. In one of the rooms, archaeologists came across the remains of what was presumably a workshop. Fragments of glass, ceramic items, and tools crafted with incredible precision. But who were they, these mysterious inhabitants? It was clear that this was a highly developed civilization with extensive knowledge, yet its existence was not documented in any known historical epics. And although their culture remained nameless until now, the existence of such artifacts gave hope that the secrets of this society would one day be uncovered. There was still much to learn ahead, and the archaeologists were preparing to make the next astonishing discovery that might shed light on this mystery. Upon stepping onto the territory of the ancient city, the researchers discovered stunning examples of architecture that challenged even modern notions of construction technology. Astonishing structures made from massive stone blocks, interlocking with such precision that not even a knife could slip between them. How such incredible precision was achieved remains a mystery that inspires both awe and suspicion at the same time. These stone monoliths, some of which weighed several tons, were installed so skillfully that it seems not even an earthquake could destroy them. Alongside this, decorative elements were discovered that were truly mesmerizing, intricate carved ornaments adorning facades and arches, and images that likely served both decorative and informational purposes. One such image, found on one of the walls, was a mysterious diagram, possibly a kind of map or an astronomical device. This indicated that the city's inhabitants possessed knowledge that went far beyond the ordinary. But the most shocking discovery was the remains of water supply and sewage systems, which seemed to surpass many known ancient counterparts. It was a network of tunnels and reservoirs, arranged so ingeniously that it likely supplied the city with fresh water and protected it from floods. Such engineering might be beyond the capabilities of even some modern societies. However, the mysteries only multiplied. What inspired these ancient craftsmen to create such majestic structures? Were they driven by religious motives, or was it a necessity dictated by the conditions in which they lived? The answers might be hidden somewhere else in this mysterious city. All archaeologists could do was continue their work, for behind every corner and beneath every stone there could be a new discovery, a new link in the chain of mysteries that the world was only beginning to unravel. As they delved into the ruins, archaeologists came across astonishing artifacts that not only sparked the imagination but also lifted the veil of mystery over the daily life of the ancient inhabitants of this city. The first among their discoveries was something like ceramic vessels, which stood out for their unusual shape and material. The scientists noticed that they were covered with strange symbols and drawings, which might indicate their ritual or everyday purpose. In another part of the excavation, the researchers' attention was drawn to small metal tools made from an alloy that has yet to be identified. These tools resembled modern surgical instruments, which led to the assumption that the city's inhabitants possessed advanced medical knowledge. Some of the instruments were so finely and delicately crafted that they were likely used for the most precise manipulations. Among the artifacts, jewelry was also discovered, created with the same precision and craftsmanship. Coins, bracelets, and necklaces adorned with precious stones indicated that these people knew how to work with and value rare materials. Analysis revealed that some of these materials came from distant lands, which testified to the existence of trade connections and a developed economy. Another discovery was flat stone slabs with carved patterns which, according to archaeologists, might have been used as game boards or for mystical rituals. These artifacts, shrouded in mystery, bore witness to daily life and culture, leaving many questions about how the inhabitants lived and what knowledge was passed down from generation to generation. Each discovery brought more mysteries, but also offered a chance to glimpse into a world that seemed to have vanished in an instant. And yet, a new question arose before the scientists. What secrets does the next find conceal, and will it be able to answer all the riddles? When archaeologists began to reconstruct the chronology of events that led to the disappearance of this mysterious city, they were stunned by the catastrophe that wiped it off the face of the earth. Several layers of sedimentary deposits found among the ruins testified to powerful earthquakes. These tectonic shifts had apparently destroyed the very foundation of the city, turning it into ruins. Cracked walls, displaced stone blocks, and collapsed buildings, all of it spoke of a sudden and devastating blow from the elements, from which no one was able to escape. The discovered skeletal remains of people caught in terror beneath the rubble of buildings added a dramatic dimension to the archaeological findings. These fragments of lives, cut short in an instant, made it clear that the inhabitants simply had no chance to escape. Some of them may have tried to find shelter but were unable to avoid death. Fragments of household items, traces of fires, and the remains of destroyed streets testified to the utter chaos and panic that reigned in the final moments of the city's existence. The scene was completed by numerous cracks running across the streets and buildings as if the earth itself had split open before the inhabitants, swallowing and destroying everything in its path. Although the city had been built with resilience to such disasters in mind, the force of the earthquake clearly exceeded all their expectations. The swiftness of the disaster left no chance for evacuation, leaving the inhabitants with nothing but hope for a miracle, which alas never came. Now archaeologists could only speculate about how the residents might have avoided this calamity if they had received more warning. But despite the loss, every artifact discovered and every fragment of information brought them closer to understanding the daily life and culture of these mysterious people. The tragic story of their demise became part of a larger mosaic of history, which continued to unfold before the astonished eyes of researchers, striving to shed light on the hidden mysteries of the past. Among all the remarkable discoveries in this ancient city, the mysterious script found on numerous objects and walls especially captured the attention of the researchers. The symbols, carved with astonishing precision, did not resemble any known writing system. At first they appeared to be a collection of random marks, but as the study progressed, it became clear that this was a complex system of symbols containing a wealth of information. One of the most intriguing discoveries was a stone scroll covered with many of these symbols. Researchers suggested that it might be something like an ancient manuscript, possibly containing the key to the life and culture of a vanished civilization. However, despite the efforts of linguists and cryptographers, deciphering this script proved to be far from easy. Some of the symbols seemed familiar, as if they had been borrowed from other known languages, but their meanings remained hidden beneath the veil of time. How advanced was this script, and what kind of information might it have contained? Perhaps these were texts describing the city's history, its laws, or religious rituals, or more likely, they could have been practical records, accounts, inventories of goods, trade agreements. Some inscriptions were found on everyday objects, which suggested their use in daily life. Others, especially those carefully carved into stone slabs, might have held ritual significance. Archaeologists also found examples of writing on metal tablets, which were most likely used for official purposes. This indicated that the ancient inhabitants not only had a written culture, but also a certain bureaucratic system. However, deciphering the text could provide answers to many questions about who these people were and how they lived. While researchers continue to puzzle over the mystery of the ancient language, they have not lost hope. Perhaps the solution to these symbols will be the key to understanding the past and help bring to life a history torn from the darkness of the ages. As with any mystery, the answer may turn out to be unexpected and shed new light on the fascinating world that once existed on this land. While studying the excavation materials, archaeologists began to notice strange details that pointed to the existence of lost technologies. The water supply and sewage systems amazed them with their complexity and efficiency. Underground tunnels spread throughout the city functioned as a water supply network, providing every home with fresh water. The reservoirs and aqueducts were designed in such a way that even the strongest flood could not cause significant damage to the city. Moreover, some elements of this system still remain a mystery to modern scientists. But it wasn't just the infrastructure that caught the researchers' attention. Some of the objects found in the ruins raised questions about the technological level of this ancient civilization. Among the discoveries were metal devices with moving parts and complex mechanisms. One such artifact resembled an astronomical clock or an instrument for observing celestial bodies. This device, despite its damaged condition, demonstrated a high degree of engineering ingenuity and technical sophistication. Archaeologists also found fragments that resembled sundials or solar panels. These objects raised questions about whether the inhabitants could have used solar energy in their daily lives. Such an assumption seemed incredible for an era when, according to modern understanding, such technologies simply did not exist. Another mystery lay in the use of light guides, tubes or channels that transmitted light from one place to another, illuminating the interiors of buildings. These elements pointed to the possible use of a technology that is now considered innovative. It is quite possible that the city's inhabitants were much more advanced than they could have imagined. Each of these discoveries made it clear that the ancient civilization possessed knowledge that was lost over time. Perhaps they used a combination of methods and resources that remain unknown to the modern world. But the knowledge lost through the ages may still open up new perspectives for modern technologies. Amidst the dust and sand, archaeologists continued to dig, hoping to find more answers to the questions this ancient city left as its legacy. Every discovery made in this mysterious city seems to cast a shadow on our understanding of the past and opens a window to the future. Research shows that the ancient inhabitants possessed technologies and knowledge that may have surpassed modern conceptions. The complexity and efficiency of their water supply systems, their use of mechanisms, and even the possible application of solar energy demonstrate their technological sophistication. These discoveries make us wonder what other innovations might still be hidden in the ruins of the past. The study of ancient scripts found on walls and artifacts may also shed light on forgotten technologies and cultural achievements. If this mysterious writing can be deciphered, it could provide access to knowledge once thought to be lost forever. Perhaps they contain technical drawings or descriptions of methods that could be applied even today. The restoration and study of the lost technologies of this city not only broadens our historical perspective but may also offer solutions to modern problems. The construction techniques used in this city could prove useful in earthquake-prone areas, while innovations in water management might hold the key to solving water supply issues in arid regions. The lessons that can be learned from this ancient city continue to impress and inspire modern scholars. These discoveries underscore that lost knowledge can still influence our present and future. The city, buried beneath the sands of time, continues to speak to us, revealing its secrets and prompting us to reconsider our understanding of history. And although much remains to be discovered, one thing is clear: the paths these ancient people once walked may well have a significant impact on the development of modern technologies.